I compose four-part harmony. I think I'm still going live right now. Today I'm going to show you how I compose four-part harmony using something called Chorale. I've been writing these once a day for a long time, and so I consider myself kind of a small expert, and that's kind of what they look like when they get done. You kind of see there. And if you had any music theory back in college, you basically learn how to you study harmony, depending on what you're doing and whatnot. Harmony is really good for, obviously for composition, for score study, if you're a conductor, if you're a musician, to understand how things are put together, how notes and chords are put together. So I'm going to show you the way that I compose this, and I decided to try this on a live broadcast just because I haven't done this before, and I have a little time right now. I'm in between school sessions, so I have a little bit of time to kind of experiment and see how this live broadcast side works. And first off, I start off with a blank page. I know today you can use music software to write your music on. There's something about the tactile part for me that I can physically write down a note on a page. And so on my ruler, I have, because I use 6 measures per system, and so I'll put the little marks there, and then it's use my ruler to finish that. So I'll just go ahead and draw my lines on it. Now I use a pencil. Of course. I'm forgetting where the camera is at. All right, so here I am putting in lines, putting my measures on the staff paper. It is a little bit harder now to find staff paper because everybody's gone to the computer. Probably kind of similar to like if you used to use a manual typewriter or even like electric typewriter. Everybody's gone to a laptop, word processing software. And you could write these using a computer, of course. The thing about this is that I have literally composed these around the world, in every part of the world, on buses, on airplanes, backstage in concerts, about to go on stage on my own concert, film sets. It just goes on and on, and that's something that's doesn't run out of batteries. I don't have to worry about trying to find a place to charge up the plug in my laptop or whatever. I just have this. As long as I got a pencil and some paper, I can compose music. So now I got me some lines there, and now I just write in a basic grand staff, treble clef and bass clef. I have been composing these every day since about 1990, and I have a couple of stacks of this manuscript, 3 or 4 of those stacks there. I always put the date down. Today is the 19th. I put my name on it just for whatever reasons. And then I have this organization pattern, kind of let me know where I'm at and composing this music. So I kind of put my little scribbles on there like that. And we're going to compose this one in the key of F major. And for those out there, what's the key signature for F major? That's correct, 1 flat. So I'll write that down. And I'm going to go 4/4. I'll just use common time, use the little C there. And because I'm not worried so much about the melodies being perfect. I mean, I do believe that melody is it's fundamental to making good music. I mean, if you just have good sounding chords, you just have good sounding chords, and there's nothing wrong with a nice chord progression. But a melody, if I take the one that classic melody. So anyways, I'm in the key of F. Now Now, there's kind of a misnomer that you have to sit in front of a piano or an instrument to be able to compose music. Mozart, Beethoven, Bach, as well as a ton of other composers, including myself. I don't need to play notes. I know what they sound like. I know what the intervals sound like. I know what the relationships sound like together. I can just it's almost so organic. I just feel it. Obviously, at the beginning though, you don't necessarily have that. So what I start off with a melody. And again, this is not necessarily anything to be played. This is the practice of my harmony writing. So I'm not trying to write all these different types of fancy rhythms or arrests and those type of things in here. I just want a basic chorale melody. And in composition school and music school, you study the 371 Bach chorales, and his chorales were amazing. And I'm sure years and years and years of his music that was lost. He'd probably be shocked that anybody actually studied his chorales. And there's a system of rules for harmony and counterpoint that you follow. Occasionally Bach would break them, but he's Bach. He did cross voicing is one of those things. He'd cross voice every once in a while when it made melodic sense. But for the most part, this is the common practice period of composing music to understand how it chords. You may not have something that sounds amazing, but if you follow the rules, you have something that will sound right. And sometimes that's a good thing to do. So I usually start off. A lot of times I start with a third. So I'll start with the third of the key, and that's A if you're keeping note. And then I write down. So that's what you can see right there. What I have there. I wrote down C for half note of C, half note of A, half note of C, and down here it's Roman numeral 1. Tells me that's going to be the harmony. That's going to be the 1 chord. Yeah, that's a little hard to see. So there are common practice periods of chords that just sounds good together. A 1 chord sounds good going to a 4. A lot of times you end phrases with a 5 chord, and that sets you up for the next phrase. So right now, just hearing this, feeling this in my head. And this is basically the thought process. Some of my friends kind of comment, how are you able to compose music and talk? Well, after writing, literally thousands of these, I just know what they will sound like. I know what they feel like. I just know. And so I'll sit down here and write the melody. I'll play the melody just for fun, this first part of the melody, just so you can hear it. Because you're not hearing it in your head like I am. So again, it's nothing great. Hopefully you can hear some type of form that goes along with it. Now, even though I don't have the harmony written out, I can go in because I got the chord progression written out. I can put the chords that would. To the next part to go back to the tonic key, of course. And so anyway, so again, didn't sound great. Definitely didn't sound bad. Be very functional if I needed to use. And this is something that Bach would have done. Is he was a very functional composer, church musician for a lot of his career, and wrote a lot of church music. And understanding these harmonies makes it easier for when I write a symphony or band music, or in my case mostly now movie music. score or film. And this process here of being able to compose music very fast on the spot is one reason why I potentially work a whole lot as a film composer. Because a lot of times in film, they just have no time and they need a soundtrack yesterday, and it's today. So it's like, well, okay. Here's what I can do in a day for you. Here's what I can do in a week, in a month, or whatever. A month is a long time. I don't think I've probably ever had that amount of time to make a film score. Because it just, time just goes by very, 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 very quickly. On a lot of aspects of things. I modulate. I go to different keys to kind of keep the interest going on. So right now I'm writing I'm taking the main melody up here and putting it down here in minor, in the relative minor. So this is the behind the scenes of composing music. You know, I guess I should have it here so you can actually see. Nothing too mysterious about it. It's composing the melody out here. These I've written. I never expect them to ever get played. They're just, again, a lot of practice. That when I write my serious music, when I gotta write something that's good, I have this as a background that I can always fall back on. And so I think I don't have to think, well, what's the third in the key? What's in the F chord? I just know it's A, just because I've done it so much. B flat chord, third is D, fifth is F. If I spell other chords as well. And again, this is the traditional harmony. I learned in college really how to write mainly a lot of atonal music that doesn't follow a key specifically. And in there's a lot of pre-compositional thought. Pre-compositional thought is before you sit down and write a piece of music, is it for a band? Is it for music? Is it for a film? String quartet? What is it for? And in a lot of ways, you think it out before you actually write a note. What instruments you're going to use? What's their skills? Are they professionals? Are they amateurs? And as a composer, you try to make your music fit whatever the ensemble you are writing for. So you can see there, I'm going to take that blank page, and now I have the melody, and I have the harmonic analysis below it. It's not so much analysis because I'm putting it in there to fill it in, to realize it. And so now I've got a 1 to a 4 to a 1 to a 5 chord. We use Roman numerals, big Roman numerals for the major chords and small Roman numerals for the minor. We use sixes for inversions, and then if I was using 7 chords, there are different inversions for those as well. And so now I write the bass line. So the melody to me is the most important, and the next important part is the bass line. And really, you can, because your ear kind of fills in the parts that are missing. And I don't know if I have anybody actually watching live, but no, I have one viewer. Hey, how you doing? Unless the viewer's me. So anyways, I'm going to continue to compose. So again, a lot of this now is pretty academic. It's like breathing for me now. I know when to use an inversion so I can avoid parallel fifths and octaves and those type of things that are forbidden in traditional harmony. I saw there's a mistake there. There's going to be a problem, so fixed it that way. That's why I use a pencil. Hopefully I don't have too many times I got to erase. I remember the first time writing these out, obviously it took longer to do that, and I started off with this 4 measures and 8 measures, and then I got to a point that a page is enough. So this is 36 measures have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 systems times 6 on their 36 measure. Because if I was just keep on adding, I think at some point I got to stop and do something else in my life. Can't just compose music all day long. Even though it's quite fun, quite challenging. And I plan to do this. I don't have any plans to stop composing music like this. So every day I'll write one of these. And I've done that since, I can't remember what month, but it was in 1990. So I'm sure longer than a lot of you out there were alive even. And that's one thing that if you want to get good at stuff is that you've got to be willing to sacrifice and be disciplined about things. I mean, I guess I could be playing a video game or watching a TV show or watching, whatever on the internet, something on whatever streaming service you have out there, watching my content. But it's all what you want to do. If you want to be a writer, you write. If you want to be a composer, you compose. You want to be a filmmaker, you make films. That's just, you want to be a dancer, you dance. You want to be an actor, you go out there and act. That's just part of being in the creative world. You're a painter, you go out there and paint. And if you paint once a year, are you really a painter? You compose music once a year, are you really a composer? I don't know. That's for you to figure out. I will say this, though. I am faster than, I used to make a joke, I'm the fastest chorale writer in the West. And I'm going a little bit slow because I'm kind of talking y'all through this a little bit. Normally I just kind of just itch this thing out. And, I knew this was something that I wanted to be able to do, and I practiced it to be able to sit down here and talk to you at the same time while I'm composing music. And for those that had harmony, I mean, it's kind of like this. Like when you take stuff in college or any classes that you take, if you don't keep practicing that, let's say you take a political science class, and you don't keep practicing it or keep updating or keep refreshing the material, at some point that material is going to be gone. And, it was 1989 when I had these harmony classes, 89, 90. And the reason why I'm still able to do this without even thinking is because I spent a lot of time back in the day working on this. I am pretty confident that if I never wrote another chorale for 20 years, that I could probably still just go out there and compose it now, just because I've done it so much. But I guess it would be interesting. It would be interesting to see. I don't plan to do that experiment. I wonder if at some point when I get so old I can't do this anymore. I wonder how I don't know when that is. As long as I can pick up a piece of paper and pen, what's probably going to be hard is finding manuscript paper. Probably at some point I'm going to have to print mine own up and bind it myself. But right now you can still get it relatively easy. I just can't go to a store and get it. I have to mail order it. But that's a lot of things today you can't go to the store and get anymore that you used to get right in the store. So I plan ahead. I always have a stockpile of these sheets of paper here. There's like 2 to 3 companies that still make the sizes that I like. I like this spiral. But it's a fun challenge to go through here. You think interval wise, you think chord wise, put it together. And since I'm mainly a guitar player, I think in sharp keys more, but I try to do flat keys, and I also write in a lot of sharp keys as well. F and B flat are probably the main flat keys I write in. A flat every once. A flat, you know, I guess. Well, I'll be honest, I probably don't write a lot in D flat, but I don't write a lot in C sharp major either. So I'm about done. And there it is. All done. So that's how I compose music. And I don't know, it might be a little bit hard for me to kind of actually get this to play. Yeah, I'll just kind of sit out the side and see if I can. Just bear with me. Remember, I'm mainly a guitar player. So you hear. End it. So anyways, so that's how I compose music. At least this daily practice. Again, this is kind of like you know, kind of brainstorm some ideas if you're a writer, if you write novels or books or short stories or whatever. And it's a good skill to have. And again, I've done this every day in my life since 1990, and so you know, it's kind of shocking to think how many years I've been composing this music like this, and that I can just sit down here and create something on the spot like this. So anyways, hopefully that gives you some inspiration, and hopefully you had a good time if you actually sit down here and watch this whole video. So anyways, there it is. Rock and roll, everybody. Bye.